But then we were invited to cook at halftime of a Washington Wizards Chicago Bulls game. This was about a little over a year ago, at the Verizon Center in Washington. And we knew that President Obama was going to visit the owner of the Wizards in his private suite, and there's a private elevator that goes up to the suite. So there's a certain dish that he likes a lot, and it's a roasted scallop. In fact, you can have that dish at Manja if you'd like. It's on the menu there. And so we prepared that dish for him, and he got off the elevator and he walked into the owner's suite. He was saying hello to people, and he walked by me, and it was a classic double take. He's like, "What are you doing here?" It was a surprise. I said, "Well, we thought, Mr. President, you would enjoy some of your favorite scallops from Chicago," and he appreciated it. And then at that time, he said to his photographer, "Come over here and take a picture of me with my favorite chef." So that's where that came from. And it was a little nerve-wracking because the Secret Service at that point, since he was president, they watched every single step of what I did. And they were with me the whole time. And the one thing they said to me was, when he comes in, please don't offer him any food directly. Make sure you give it to us before you give it to him. And you know, knowing him and having talked to him over the years, when he came over and he said, "Okay, I'm ready for my scallops," I went to grab him the scallops. And as a chef, you're always looking for the best looking scallop. So I didn't go for one. I didn't go directly to one scallop. My hand sort of went over about 8 of them that I had laid out on plates. And I picked one up and I handed it directly to him. I didn't think anything of it. I forgot what they had said to me, obviously. And so after he enjoyed his scallop and we posed for a picture, the Secret Service came over to me and I said, "You know, I'm really sorry. I forgot I was supposed to hand it to you and not directly to the president." And he said, "Don't worry, we were watching. You didn't go for one scallop. You didn't go directly to one scallop. You actually, you know, your hand went over about 3 or 4, so you didn't go directly to one scallop." But that wasn't even the nerve-wracking part. The really nervous part was the guy standing next to me had that thing that they call the football, which holds the nuclear codes. And he set it down next to me, and I was talking to him, and he's right next to me. And I said, "Is that what I think it is?" And he said, "Yeah, I can blow up the world anytime." And then standing next to him was the White House doctor, and he says, "Yeah, he leaves the rest for me to clean up." That was a lot of fun. So, you know, one of the other great honors that has happened in the last year is that my wife, Kathy Mantuano, is here. Her family comes from the region of Molise in Italy, and my family comes from Calabria. And we were honored last year about this time in the town in the region where her grandparents are from with keys to the town, and for being ambassadors of Italian culture and cuisine throughout the world. So that was a terrific honor. But again, all of that, you know, you can't be a sprinter. I mean, it takes a long time to get to this point. 30 years after I started my career, after graduating from Tremper High School in 1972, I'm now, you know, on a show called Top Chef Masters. We're getting keys to a town in Italy. We're meeting people like the Obamas and Paul McCartney. So it takes a long time to get there. And, you know, remember who you are. I mean, stay true to who you are. Manja has now been around for 22 years, as I said earlier, and we have an alternative to other restaurants in Kenosha. I think we offer a product that is unique, and my gift to you today, as a personal thanks, and your gift bag that you'll get on the way out, is a $10 gift, basically, from me to use at Manja Restaurant. So I hope you enjoy it. I would be happy to take any questions. If anyone has a question, I'd be happy to take a question. We allow time, at least I did. I don't have to go to work. But if anyone has a question about Top Chef Masters, or if you're a Republican and you'd like to rebuke the Obama story. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea how stringent everything was going to be and rigorous activities that you had to do for Top Chef Masters before you got there? Did you know it was going to be that tough to do everything, to shop and prepare? And get those meals made on time for people?
Did everyone hear the question? So the question was, did I have any idea how rigorous it would be to be on Top Chef Masters? And no, I had no idea. In fact, the show was filmed in Los Angeles, and it was literally about a week before that they called me and said, could you make available your time to be on the show? And at first I'm like, I'm too busy, I can't do it. And then the people that I work with, the sous chefs and the cooks, said, you have to do it. And that's really that show, that market really appeals to young professionals in the restaurant industry. So I realized I had to do it, and one of the first things I did before I went there was to go to a grocery store and figure out where stuff was, because as restaurateurs, you really don't shop in grocery stores. So it's been a while since I was in a grocery store, and so my cooks took me to a Whole Foods in Chicago and said, you got to figure out what you're going to do here. So no, I had no idea, and it was also the first time I ever checked into a hotel without a checkout date, because you just compete until they say pack your knives. So, but one of the great things about being on the show was that on Top Chef Masters you raise money for your charity, and we raised $15,000 for the Chicago Food Depository, and then we had viewing parties when the show actually aired, and we raised another $10,000. So we raised a total of $25,000 for the Chicago Food Depository, which translates to 90,000 meals. So that was really good. But it was very, very physical. I haven't worked that hard in a long time.